Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Straight Talk for the Soul series. I'm Carrie Murphy, your host and the creator of this global broadcasting community. I want to extend a bright and a beautiful good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to each and every one of you joining us from all corners of the globe. Welcome to our sacred circle and listening family. Thank you for the gift of your time and presence. Please remember to sign up at straighttalkforthesoul.com to get all the gifts that we have assembled for you and to receive news of upcoming shows, replays from the past shows, and more. You can also listen now on YouTube and on iTunes. Just type in Straight Talk for the Soul. And by the way, our final call of this season is coming up on Monday, and then we begin season 8 on July 2nd in just over a week. So take advantage of your replays and special offers for this season. Lots of good stuff there for you. And know that we always appreciate you sharing news of this show to your loved ones so we can continue to expand our community and provide upliftment and healing and love and support to as many souls as we can. And I want to thank you for your participation. It's really incredible, and all the feedback I get from you. The light that you bring to this space is more significant than you know. And for today, I am so excited. We're going to be highlighting and celebrating a topic that is very close to my heart, along with a speaker who is also very close to my heart. Today, we're going to talk about the ancient civilization of Lemuria and how we can embody Lemurian values now in our everyday life on Earth, along with my precious soul sister, SanRa. Lemuria is said to have existed previous to and concurrently with Atlantis and what is now the Pacific Ocean, including the Hawaiian Islands, Easter Islands, New Zealand, the Maldive Islands, and perhaps beyond. It was an idyllic culture where people honored each other and all beings lived a life of spiritual and creative pursuits in harmony with one another. Today we're going to talk all about that. How did we live on Lemuria? Did we go to work? Did we solve conflicts? What did we do for fun? How can we create the idyllic life that we led on Lemuria in our lives on present-day Earth? Well, these questions and more are going to be answered by SanRa and the Lemurian Priestess Circle of 13. We will be taking live callers. Press *2 on your phone to raise your hand to let me know that you want to be considered for that. And we're also going to have a Lemurian Priestess channeling to help you transcend any seemingly impossible situations or difficulties in your life right now. Our intention today is to reawaken your Lemurian knowing of how to live a peaceful, happy, contented, meaningful life. You already know how to do this because the knowledge is not lost. You hold it in your cells. And it's just been buried for a long time under layers of trauma and fear and untrue beliefs about yourself and human life in general. So the Lemurian Priestess Circle of 13 will use encoded energy streams to unlock this knowledge. And now is the time to move beyond just imagining this kind of life and actually practice it in our day-to-day lives. So allow this knowing within you to come alive in your actions beginning today, because this is how we change our world, by changing and awakening ourselves from within. So I hope you guys are ready for that. Again, we're going to have a channeled session today to immerse you in this feeling of peace, and we're going to talk about these Lemurian values and how to release fear and trauma and old belief systems. Let me tell you a bit more about SanRa, and then we will get started. SanRa is a Lemurian priestess in the Lemurian Priestess Circle of 13, an ascended group of priestesses bringing forth the wisdom of the ancient civilization of Lemuria. She is a voice channel for her priestess group, and she's been doing spiritual healing work with clients for 30 years. SanRa has been guided to lead Lemurian priestess, or women's circles, I should say, and mixed groups to assist Mother Earth and humanity in their ascension process. Star beings, ascended masters, angels, and councils of light throughout the universe work through SanRa to support us in our spiritual growth. She is dedicated to helping us move forward on our spiritual path and reestablish paradise on Earth in our new golden age. I am so honored and excited and grateful to have her back with all of us today. So please join me in extending waves of love and light and appreciation to SanRa as I welcome her back to the show. Welcome back, my dear.
Hello, Carrie. Thank
Hi,
you for
sweetheart.
that wonderful introduction. Thank you so much. Isn't she great? If we could give applause, I want everybody to clap for Carrie.
Thank you. We are going to have so much fun today. Well, I feel, SanRa, I feel like I know you, and a lot of our audience already knows you, but for those who may be new to you, let's talk about your, well, is it like a reintroduction? When did you rediscover your connection to Lemuria? When did that start?
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, in 2011. Now, I'm not very linear, but I do remember that. It was in January of 2011. The priestesses came to me in meditation, and they said, you are one of us, and we want you to bring forth the energy of our circle and Lemuria. We want you to channel us. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's the missing piece I've been looking for. It still really brings tears to my eyes, because I had been channeling Ascended Masters and working with Dwell Cool and Maitreya, and I loved that. But I also was like, well, where's my feminine? Where is the sacred feminine? And then there it was. It was like, this is it. This is the piece I've been missing. And so then it just went from there, and that was in 2011. So I did a lot of 11/11 stuff and bringing in 2012 with the priestesses.
Oh, right. Good timing, huh?
Yeah, that was, yes, no coincidences, right?
Exactly. So had you remembered a lot about Lemuria before that, or did you know much about the civilization on a conscious level in this lifetime before then?
I knew about Lemuria. I had read a little bit about Lemuria. I didn't mentally know a lot about how life was, but I had the feeling. I mean, this is a funny thing, Carrie. When I was in high school, you know how I guess they still have this. They have like speech class in high school. That's what we called it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, here I am. I'm 16 years old, and I have this book called The Cosmic Energy of Mu or something. I don't think that's the name of it, but it was by James Churchward. Mm-hmm. And it talked about all these things about Mu. And where I would get a copy of this book, I had no idea. But I read the book, and I gave a talk on it in speech class. Mm-hmm. It's odd. It's like, yes. And many of us are like, it's like I knew, I had no idea, and yet I knew. Here was this book in my hand, and I'm sure the whole class was like, what the heck is she talking about?
Right.
So somehow that was in my cells, and the book came to me. And then, you know, I didn't do too much with it. It took me a little while to really step on my path. And during that time then, you know, I'd read some Edgar Cayce stuff about Lemuria, so I knew it was there, yes. But I didn't really mentally know too much about it, and the priestesses really helped me with that.
Well, I have also, as you know, had a connection to Lemuria, and I've been remembering more and more, you know, and it's no mistake that you and I connected when we did, and all of that. And I had another friend, Lori Ladd, who's been on the show, who speaks about Lemuria, SanRa, and it was interesting. She pointed out to me, I always had this dislike for my original email address, you know, from 20 years ago, but it was my first name and my middle initial and MU. And I always thought, oh, that's so, like, people always go moo moo. I'm like, oh my gosh, come on. But something told me, just keep it. I've had it forever. And Lori told me recently, she said, didn't you realize in that email address that you dislike, it's moo? And I'm like, oh my goodness. Yes, it is. Yes. So no mistake about that. And because when you and I connected, and I had my session with you and connected with the priestesses, I had been in daily communication and connection with them ever since. And it was like home. It was such a homecoming, meeting you and having that experience. And so when you talk about it and you say it brings tears to your eyes still, it does for me too, because it is like a homecoming. And so talk a little bit more, SanRa, about the Priestess Circle of 13. Who are they, and what's the purpose in connecting with them for you, or reconnecting?
Mm-hmm. Reconnecting. Well, it is interesting. I mean, I always say they, but it's really we. I mean, it's funny. It's taken me a few years to address to address them as us, because I'm part of them. It's funny. I have to laugh at that. I think we all have these kind of blind spots. It's like, oh, I'm the only one still on Earth. However, each one of us, meaning each one of our 13 priestesses, have a cosmic connection. I mean, we each have a connection with a star. And that cosmic energy is then brought through. Because Lemuria was so advanced, such an idyllic culture, and I know people think, well, we can say that, but really they had problems too. And although I wouldn't address that as problems, from what the rest of my circle is telling me, until the fall, really, no. This was an idyllic culture. There weren't problems, as we're so used to saying in Lemuria. There was so much, the whole life of living in Lemuria was based on beauty and cooperation and harmony and love and light and, the harmony and unity between each other and the earth and the cosmos. So the priestesses lived physically in Lemuria then. We all did. And so they're bringing that cosmic energy to the earth. And then all of these ceremonies and rituals and just the way life was organized is different than it is today, because it was idyllic. There wasn't there weren't, like today it has been coming forth for years about all the family problems on earth and all of the karma. Honestly, in the beginning, there was not karma, Carrie. There was choice. And karma is on a soul level. But beyond that is our higher self, or what I call our monad, which is the same as our divine spark, which is the same as our I am presence. Now, there are many different belief systems, so whatever feels true for people listening, be with that, whatever resonates. But the way I believe, our soul holds our karma. Well, we didn't come here with our soul. We came here with our I am present.
Right.
We came with that intention of our I am presence to bring forth, or I can't think of the word, but to kind of let the energy just move into the lower dimensions. So it was kind of an extension of that from our monad, or I am present.
So the priestesses, how are their teachings unique to the channeling you were doing prior to them coming through in 2011? The channeling, describe that.
Okay. Well, first of all, I had a definite energy of the feminine, of flow. I want to say this so it makes sense to everybody. They did talk a lot about Lemuria and the values of Lemuria, whereas the masters that I was channeling before also were talking about life on Earth and how we can ascend. There was a lot about ascension from Thalkul and Maitreya and releasing our belief systems, a lot about that, which was very helpful. And the priestesses, we are in agreement with that, of course, but there was more. Let us remember how life was in Lemuria and how that is still within you and how you can remember it. Whether it's, in your thinking mind or whether it's in a cellular structure, so that we can bring that energy back to Earth, because it wasn't lost. We have said as the group many times, the priestesses, this energy isn't lost. It has just been buried under all the subsequent lifetimes and all the separation. The priestesses talk a lot about separation and unity. Mm-hmm. Life on Earth right now is living in separation. So all our belief systems are about separation. In Lemuria, there was not separation. And that is really important to bring forth. So not that Lemuria is the only important civilization. I am not saying that, and neither are the priestesses. We are not saying that. But it is the oldest, most ancient one, and it's bringing back that sacred feminine, that flow of energy, that transformation, because now it's really the time that we need this. Mm-hmm. It's almost like it was pre-programmed.
Yes,
to
be activated. Mm-hmm. And that's what you're doing. And I would love to do the chant, SanRa, because I feel we brought a little information in, and you do this lovely Lemurian chant that I feel can really bring the audience into this frequency a little bit more. Does this feel like a good time to do that?
Wonderful. It feels great. It's the Latena, and one of the meanings of that Latena is we are one. And it's spelled L-A, and the second word is T-E, and then the last word is N-A, Latena. And I know a lot of people in the audience know that they're the listeners, so feel free to sing along. Latena, 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 Latena,
That was beautiful. Thank you.
And I feel the energy. Don't you feel the energy? Like everything came into alignment. People are more together.
Absolutely. And for those of you who are on the webcast, if you just listened to that, I want to know what you felt. I know the first time that I heard it, oh my gosh, there was something about it that just I connected with. And SanRa, when you first sang it to me after that first time, I still use it, especially if I'm outside. I've told you when I'm outside and, it's just the most beautiful thing. And you do it every day as well, don't you?
I do. And what's interesting, and for people, now the listeners have it, so use it. But I will notice if I am meditating, if I do it for like 15 minutes, I don't always do it for that long, but when I do, I'll notice a whole shift in my body. It's like everything comes into alignment. I also use it a lot when I'm driving.
That's a good time, isn't it?
I giggle because, sometimes driving is not a place where you can be calm.
Yes.
But the latte not only does it keep you calm, but that emanates out. And it makes the driving experience different for you and for people around you. So I suggest it. As long as you can stay, awake, and we don't want you going into a trance state.
Yes. Right. I love it. I love using it outside. So, and we're getting a lot of people writing in saying it was absolutely beautiful. I'm crying, made me emotional. So, and I know I felt that when I first heard it. So was that chant something that, that was created by the Priestess Circle of 13, or where did that come from?
No, thanks for asking that, because the priestesses, as I think I said, were physically in Lemuria, so they were priestesses too. They came to help and to bring the energy. And this was actually a chant that was sung in Lemuria. People that are crying are remembering it. It's cellular memory. This isn't something that was made up for now. It was sung in Lemuria, and we are just reminded of that.
Right, and you're reminding me of that again, because I remember you told me that initially, and I guess I forgot, but I'm glad that we highlighted that for the listeners, because if it feels familiar to you, I remember just the tone and just the melody. I immediately felt connected to it. I thought, oh my gosh, we need to sing this again and again and again. So I'm glad we did that. And what do you feel, SanRa, with regard to, before we go into any channeling, and we're going to take questions with you in a channeled state about Lemuria. So anybody who has questions about Lemuria, what did we do? What was it about? SanRa will be in a channeled state to answer those questions. So again, press *2 to raise your hand for that in a bit. But before we go into that, SanRa, is there anything you're feeling would be important for us to highlight about Lemurian life that we haven't touched on, before we go into the channeled state?
Sure. Well, first of all, I'd like to, there's always a lot of questions that say, am I from Lemuria?
Yes.
And so let me just answer this right now. If you are on this call, you have been in Lemuria. It doesn't mean you haven't been in any other civilization, or any other civilization is more or less important. It means you have been drawn by the energy, and you have had lifetimes in Lemuria. So I want everybody to know that, and I feel, as I said that, my whole posture changed, my whole body changed, and I feel that with the listeners. It's like, I am. So yes, acknowledge that, feel that, be with that, know this to be true.
Absolutely. I'm grateful you shared that.
That is very important. And I want people also to know that to trust that. Here's something that's come up. I think I told you the other day I've been through a few initiations myself in my travels. My husband and I travel full-time in our RV. And we go to nature places we're guided to. You know, I work a lot with the trees and the earth. I help to bring forth the Lemurian energy that's still in the earth. I help to connect it with the cosmos. There's a lot to it that sometimes I understand and sometimes I don't. But there was a lot of energy in the Grand Tetons that came up right from the earth into me. And it is said in the Telos book, actually, page 11, Telos 1, because I just reviewed this, that Archangel Michael and the blue flame angels actually brought what we might say the pre-Lemurian people there. Now, I'm sure there were many other beings that were brought. I don't know all of the totality of that. But I was told after I read that, and while I was sitting on the earth in the Grand Tetons, I was told, yes, you were in that group, and that was the first group of pre-Lemurian seeds, I think is the word they used there. And then the words came out, and you were there, and you formed the Lemurian Priestess Circle, and then went to Lemuria as was appropriate. So I want people to know, maybe they were there, maybe they came later, maybe they're from Sirius, maybe you're from the Pleiades, maybe you're from Betelgeuse, where I'm from, a star in Orion. So any inklings that you have had of being in Lemuria and coming from the stars, it's true.
Yes.
So there's a trusting. And since I was there and getting that information and that energy, because the energy of Lemuria, the priestesses, the civilizations, it has not been lost. They are held in the earth. So that energy came up through me, more so even. And there's now a new level of trust in my being. And so I'm kind of emanating out this energy of trust to the listeners so people can then trust themselves. Oh, I'm not crazy. This is true. Yes, it is true. You were there. You did have a part. It was wonderful and idyllic. It is true.
I am, yes, absolutely. And there are quite a few people who wrote in asking that very question. Am I from Lemuria? And I'm grateful that you shared that. And I want to highlight something that you said. For many of us who experienced life in Lemuria, we did also experience life in Atlantis or other, like you mentioned, other civilizations. It's not an either or. So maybe, sometimes what I have found is people have maybe more active memories of lifetimes on Atlantis at certain times in their lives. And then now maybe they're resonating with what we're talking about now. And perhaps it's just because it's time for that memory to be activated. But it is quite normal to have experienced both from my experience and from listening to others. So so if the people are listening are having that question like, oh, but I used to feel like I had been, participated in Atlantis. And if you're resonating with this, then it's probably both. And
and it could be many.
Absolutely.
It could be many. I mean, people could be in Lemuria, Atlantis. They go to Egypt. They could go to Avalon, to Tibet, to South America. I mean, all of these. I mean, how long have we been on the earth? Oh my gosh, the soul age. Not that that's important, but that has so many experiences that are part of you.
Well, and what's interesting. Sorry, SanRa.
Okay.
What I was feeling to mention is, if we also look at this from the perspective that all time is, everything is existing concurrently, it's all happening now, then there is another aspect of us that is living that now. And so when we're having a conversation like this in our human bodies here on planet Earth right now, we're also activating the aspects of ourselves that are experiencing this simultaneously, right?
Exactly. And that's a kind of a difficult concept for our thinking mind. And I tell people, so don't try to understand this from your thinking mind. Understand this from your higher soul level. Understand this from your intuition. There are some things we just can't quite get fully in our thinking mind. Don't try. Our thinking mind is very linear. Lemuria is not. And, it's not linear. It doesn't mean we don't understand anything. We understand it from a higher perspective. So I'm watching everybody. Oh, everybody, thank you, listeners. You're doing it. You just moved your consciousness up to the higher level of your understanding. We cannot bring through our new golden age with our thinking mind.
Absolutely. And I know that this audience is they're progressive, and I believe that they understand that we are multidimensional. And the reason I brought up what I did was because that it makes it, we're really activating things that we already know. And I believe I mentioned that in the introduction, that everything is within us. All of these memories or simultaneous happenings are activated, and it becomes easier to tap into those frequencies because they're there. They're already there. Sometimes it's just it's awakening them. And someone, Suzanne wrote in SanRa saying about the Latina chant. She's going to sing it to her 4-month-old granddaughter next time she sees her. It's so beautiful. So thank you for that.
That's so wonderful. And you know what? I've heard people say, oh, yeah, I started singing it at home. And then my kids will come in the room, and they'll start singing it. And now my friends are singing it. And I have a client who has 2, I don't want to say the wrong term, but it's autism spectrum syndrome, whatever the right word is for that. She said that she thought it helped them. Now, I'm not making claims to healing. I'm just saying the latte na awakens, it opens, it soothes, it makes the energy more harmonious, it helps us remember we are one. And as you said too, Carrie, or alluded to, that these energies, we are reactivating them. So the energy of Lemuria again brings the flow, the sacred feminine, the transformation of the sacred feminine, and flow and allowing, as opposed to forcing and making things happen. Now that's a male paradigm, and we are moving into that, so we can bring balance between the masculine and feminine. I'm not saying the feminine is better, but it must be re-emerging, and this is the word. Lemuria is now, and the wisdom of it, the energy of it is re-emerging from our own selves and from the earth, because now is when it's needed, so that we can come back into harmony with ourselves, balance between the masculine and feminine, and moving into bringing that energy of harmony back into our lives on the earth. The priestesses talk about the harmony all the time, and the beauty and the oneness. I mean, these are themes that we always talk about: harmony, beauty, oneness, loving energy. And don't we need that? Don't we need that on the earth now? I mean, we've always needed it, but it's like now it's time. People are more open. Women are awakening. Men are awakening. It's like the light is being brought forth, the love is being brought forth, and now the power.
And it's bringing that harmony here to humanity, and And I love that a lot of what you bring forth, I don't know of anyone that is bringing forth some of the things that you are with regard to, the ceremonies that we did in Lemuria and what is the one that, well, it's one of the ones in the offer in a class that you've done before, the Earth and Sun ceremony. And it's really being presented so that we can relearn or activate these ceremonies so that we can utilize them here and now. What is the Earth and Sun ceremony, just briefly, if you don't mind?
Well, no, and I'm so excited you brought that up because I'll talk about that specifically in a minute, but we really are, because in January of this year, 2018, I stepped out of the RV in our camping area, which we were alone and quiet, and everything was different. Everything felt different. I said, okay, tell me what happened. And my sisters, the priestesses, they said to me, well, it's been 7 years since we came to you the first time, and now that was all preparation. Now you're actually going to do the work you came to do. I was like, what?
So this whole 7 years.
I thought I was doing the work. Right. And not that you don't always progress, but it was then that I was told, now the actual ceremonies you and, us, all of us did in Lemuria will be doing again on Earth. Now, for how it is needed. So they may be tweaked a little, but we're actually doing, these things. So the Earth and Sun ceremony, that's a balance between the Earth and the Sun. That's also, the Earth is feminine, the Sun is masculine. There's that balancing that needs to happen. And so it's in community, in groups, that we are bringing that Earth and Sun ceremony back. So we are bringing balance, and we are awakening the Earth, feminine, the Sun, masculine, within ourselves. We're allowing the energy to flow. And so that, yes, maybe we're in a female body, maybe we're in a male body. We honor that, but we still have some of each. And it's so out of balance now, so it needs to come back into. So in Lemuria, those ceremonies were done to keep things in balance. Now we're doing them to bring them back into balance and harmony. Mm-hmm. So there's the Earth and Sun one. That was lovely.
Yes, and it's highlighted in that one class, and I love that everything that the priestesses bring through you as one of them, just the energy, for activating DNA, and kind of awakening the Lemurian frequencies in us, but it also, I don't want to leave out that so much of what you bring forth in your sessions, these group sessions that you're offering are, it's activating the crystalline grid structure, awakening the feminine, relearning the ceremonies. I mean, all of these really important, significant things that if someone is listening right now and they're called to this, I don't know anyone else who's providing this kind of information in this specific way, SanRa, and we'll talk more about the classes that you're offering and the sessions and things like that. But I wanted to kind of highlight how exciting it was that you're bringing forth some of these ceremonies that are really powerful. So, okay, so at this point, I'm feeling like let's go ahead and go into some channeling. Would you like to take questions at the beginning of the channeling, or would you prefer to provide a channeled message first? What feels best for you?
Yes, let's do the channeled message first.
Yeah.
And let me just go back 1 second. I want to say about these ceremonies that are coming through. I personally feel so blessed to not only be providing them, but to be doing them again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure it's I'll bet it's emotional, isn't it? Because
I'm
I can feel
now.
you right now. I know. I can feel it. Yes, I could feel that. And I think people who are naturally called to this and are drawn to this and, drawn to this group class with you, it's an activation, it's an awakening of what you already know and have experienced. And so as I have experienced with you, there are a lot of tears because it's like, oh my gosh, I know this and it feels so good. And it just opens your heart and it helps you remember who you really are and, our potential here. So,
and how many people, Carrie, you've heard this too, are like, I want to know what my purpose is. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And I tell people in the groups, what you are doing, participating in these ceremonies now, bringing your individual essence as part of the whole into what is the column of light, because that's what that first group is, and it continues on to the next, is you are bringing that essence. This is at least part of your purpose. Because it's so important. It's so important. What we are doing is realigning and reharmonizing and regrowing and reactivating. It's like, for me, it's like coming home to my heart again, and people are finding this. And so it's a service. It's a service that's helping collective humanity, that's helping Earth, that's helping the cosmos. We are not limited to the Earth here. And that's helping the other kingdoms on the Earth. This is, it's wonderful. So I honor everybody who's part of that, who wants to be part of that, who's already doing it in their own way. We need to honor ourselves. So I just wanted to I had that inspiration to say those words.
And SanRa, it reminds me of our conversation earlier in the week when we talked about that memory's being ignited now. We talked about bringing up the Tetons, as you did briefly mention, and as we were in meditation, it felt that it was important to bring that forth because of what you just said. I feel that a lot of people who are listening to this call, that's what I felt when we were in meditation, because as you know, I also had a very deep experience in the Grand Tetons, and in fact, quite a few people who listen to this show met me there when I was with Patricia Cota-Robles, and we were all up there for an event. And so I knew that there's a lot of meetings that take place in the etheric realm in the Grand Tetons that I know you are a part of, SanRa, I am, and I believe a lot of people, whether they are consciously aware of that or not, in this community are also a part of that. And when we spoke the other day, we felt it was important to really remind people that there is a lot that they do, and they may not be consciously aware of it, that is really supporting, this golden age here on the planet. And they wouldn't be listening to this show if they weren't participating in some format, in some way. And so we wanted to highlight, I know we both mentioned this, how significant their role is. And I think that's really, really important for them to know. I mean, just listening to a call like this and just the frequencies that are generated from this group space is huge in itself, the love that we're bringing forth. So do you want to add anything else to that about, or do you think we're complete with that?
Well, just briefly, that is absolutely true. There are, we have other, I want to say levels or aspects to our being, all of us individually, that maybe we're not aware of, just like you said. And there are many councils. There's all kinds of earth councils and galactic councils and, cosmic councils. And so many of us are a part of those on a level that we don't know about. And now that we are, coming out of separation, we're coming together again in ourselves. So if you get some idea that I'm on a council, don't say, oh, no, I couldn't be. No, that's for somebody else, that's for a public speaker. Well, no, not necessarily. So I want people to really say, oh, that could absolutely be true for me, and I'm going to own that. I'm going to honor that. I'm going to allow that to be possible. I'm going to let me be the fullness that I am. So I think it's just different words to say the same thing you said. But yes, we are more than we know ourselves to be, and we are definitely more than we think ourselves to be.
Oh, right. I was reminded, SanRa, of what I mentioned to you years ago. You remember I told you that some soul brothers and sisters had told me who are, sometimes I have conscious memory of some things and sometimes I do not. And, who had mentioned, at these galactic council meetings, well, we see you there, you're there. I'm like, really? What? But a lot goes on. And so I would imagine that anyone listening to a call like this, whether they're consciously aware of it or not, that they are participating in a very grand way. There are so many councils, like you mentioned, that, with beings from, the multiverse, participating to support us here. And so I'm glad we highlighted that. And because a lot of people are fulfilling their mission, whether they realize it or not, just in their being and in bringing through the frequency of their being and who they are. And that love vibration. And that's what we're doing today. We're going to bring forth more of that. So do you have any idea with the channeling we're going to do today, what's going to come through? Or
absolutely not.
I didn't think so.
I don't usually know ahead of time.
Right.
And even if I think I do, it doesn't usually pan out that way. So, it's a surrender. But it will be wonderful. It will be wonderful.
Absolutely. So as you go into the channeled state, we'll do the message, and then following that, we'll have you take some questions from the audience. And so again, press *2 to raise your hand for that later. So, my dear, I will let you get us going. Are you going to start with the chant again?
Yes, and I want to say one other thing about the channeling. First of all, it's energetic. So let yourself be with it. You don't have to remember all the words. Let your thinking mind be quiet. Receive the energy. If you don't hear the words, you're getting the energy. And the questions that I'm really excited about is like, what was life like in Lemuria? What was daily life like? Because if we know more about that, then can't we kind of remember that so we can bring daily life from ourselves on Earth that way? The things that were mentioned before, it's like these questions I think are important. And I said to you, Carrie, earlier, I don't know all of the answers to these questions. So that's why the circle will be able to answer,
Yes.
So I want people to just be in the mindset of receiving the energy, hear the words if you can, but surrender fully. This is very deep and moves into you deeply if you can receive fully. Good. Thank you. Thank you, listeners. So I will do the latte now briefly, and then we will come through as a group.
Okay.
Thank you, Carrie. Latte na, latte na, latte na. Latte na, latte na, latte na. Latte na, latte na, latte na. Latina, 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 Latina. Latina, 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 Latina. Latina, 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 Beloved hearts, as you are hearing, feeling, allowing, receiving the energies from our shared heart and all of our shared 15 chakras, they're moving around within, protecting, opening, awakening, loving all that is you. Beloved hearts, we are one. We are all one flow of energy. The energetic connection that we have becomes more full as you hear the sounds and as you feel us move around you, beloved heart. We are not strangers. We are all flowing together. As we are out of time and space, we are energetically remembering that our energy is moving, flowing together in the harmony of all that is. And all that is, beloved heart, all that is upon the earth, within the earth, into your solar system, your galaxy, your universe, the other universes beyond, into the formless realms. It is a continuation of energy, a flow of energy, of which all of us are a part. Feel yourself open and be safe, beloved hearts, in this opening. We know that many, many, many of you have been hurt, have been harmed in opening your heart and expressing that who you are. And now, beloved hearts, that is over. The opening now of the essence, the truth of that which you are is safe. Is safe, beloved hearts. We now ask you, we invite you, and we extend around you our shared heart for you to open again, to feel the essence of that which is you flow out of you. Feeling that safety and feeling the freedom in being yourself again. You are needed, beloved hearts. Your energy is needed. The essence of you is needed. As you are now within, as we envelop all of you in our love, in our safety and protection. Feel yourself, simply open and emanate that essence into collective earth and human energy, beloved hearts. All that you have held in safety for eons, it is now, in this present moment, safe, appropriate for you to let that move out of your being. All of that which you have been holding so tightly within for safety and for fear of the precious energy of that which you are to be denigrated. Beloved hearts, this denigration has come to an end for you. There is no more. You are free to be yourselves in the light. Your hearts are free to open in the safety and wonder of that which you are. Beloved hearts, we need the wonder of your being. We need the wonder of that which you are. And yes, we ask that you dare to open even the tiniest bit. Beloved ones, we honor all that you are. Can you not honor yourselves, beloved hearts? I honor all that I am. I honor all that I am. I am safe in honoring myself. I am worthy of honoring that which I am. I am needed, and I allow for all that I am to be expressed in the safety that is being held for me through the loving heart of the priestess energy. I am safe. I am worthy. I honor myself. I again can be all that I am. I am that now. I am that now. I am that now. Allow the tears to flow. Allow your body to open, beloved heart. We are with you. We surround each one of you with our love. We surround the entire group that is here today and that will be here. We surround you in the love and safety, the protection of our shared heart. Trust yourself, beloved heart. Know that all of that torture and that hardship and that trauma, it is done and you are safe. I am safe. I am honored. Each one of the 13 of us honors each one of you, beloved heart. You are loved. You are deeply loved. You are deeply honored. And you are fully safe. We are sitting together with you in a few moments of silence as we, the great Priestess Circle, not only have we held a space for that love and energy on Lemuria, but we bring this energy from the cosmos, anchoring it on Earth, bringing it around you so you are enveloped by the energy that you are needing to know it is safe for me to come out of my shell. My precious gifts are safe now. And as we are around you, the encoded light beams of energy that come from us and through us now move in to you, individually and collectively. Use your breath, surrender yourself, and receive, beloved heart, all that you are needing for your own safety, your own awakening, your own beauty again to be present and shared. We begin now, beloved hearts. Receive. Opening to the sacred feminine of your being, whether you're in a male body or a female body. Open to the sacred feminine of your being. Allow the temple in the second chakra to again be awakened. Let it come alive, beloved heart. Let it come alive. And now, let the quite specific activating beams of energy, filled not only with the sounds we will make, but the sacred geometric symbolic forms of music, of mathematics, of energy, move into the temple of the sacral center and allow it to be re-sanctified and safe, beloved hearts. We begin now. Receive, receive, trust, open, and honor yourself. Receive the energy of re-sanctification, reconsecration of the womb, beloved heart. This is only the beginning of this sacred awakening, re-purification, re-consecration, re-sanctification. This is only the beginning, beloved heart. Join now. So the one great cosmic womb in our group joins again together, protected by the power of your being, awakened further by the light, enveloped by the love. We are one, beloved heart. We are one. Iana shalana she, 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 Iana shana 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 shana, Iana shana shale, Iana la shane, Iana shana le, Iana shalane, Iana shana le, Iana shana shale 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 shale, Iana shala shale, Iana shala la, Iana shala, Iana shala, Iana shala, Iana shala, Iana shala, Iana shala, Iana shalane, Iana shalane, Iana shalane, Iana shalane, Iana shalane, Iana shalane, Iana shara, Iana shara, Iana shalane. Ulakashiniahana un salaktiakatashinimahan. Liukanahai shemuk tahan ikash. Ufiabriahania munta. We honor all that you are. We are complete for this transmission. And yet, beloved hearts, the energy continues to flow from us, through us, to you, and then from you to us and to each other and to the earth and to the cosmos, with no effort on your part, but only the flow that you know yourselves to be. We will sit together for a few moments. And then when our dear sister is ready to begin again, Carrie, begin. We are one.
Okay, thank you for that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, SanRa and the priestesses, this is a good time. We're going to take some callers, and we've had a lot of hands up since the beginning. But press *2 to raise your hand if you've called in by phone with your questions for the priestesses regarding Lemuria. And you can also type in your questions or comments in the webcast Q&A box if you've joined us by computer. Okay, so I'm going to go to our first caller at this point. I'm going to area code 702. 702.
Good morning. This is Diane.
Hi, Diane. Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm just kind of blissed out in the moment. How are you?
I feel the same way. Oh, so wonderful.
Absolutely. Did you have a specific question, Diane?
I do, actually. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much. The information through the channel was amazing and so healing and beautiful. And so thank you, SanRa, for channeling that for us. And my question has to do with a star. And I'm wondering, I guess, first of all, it has to do with, is Lemuria part of a star system? And do you know anything about the star Mizra, which is the second star in the handle of the Big Dipper?
Mizra. Beloved heart. You are asking because you know that your origination is there, do you not, beloved heart?
Yes, I was told that by my guides.
And that is true. And that star then gives you energy of expansion as you allow it. You see, in every cell of your body, beloved heart, is the star energy of Mizra and other stars. But this we say to you is that of greatest influence, that is you allow it to awaken and expand within you, then your own expansion of that which you are becomes greater, becomes, shall we say, fully realized, beloved heart. Now, there are few from Mizra on the earth, but present, yes. And Mizra, yes, that energy was present in Lemuria. Now, beloved heart, your question, is Lemuria part of a star system? Now, it's quite an interesting question. Many stars have come to Lemuria. We might say, beloved heart, as in America, where SanRa, Kantalashti, is in her home. Yes, you see, this, the United States, is what they call in the United States the melting pot for so many other countries have come, you see. Lemuria, beloved heart, is what we might call the cosmic melting pot. So many different star energies, you see, brought the energy to the continent of Lemuria with, of course, permission from Earth, you see, or from the solar system. There's much that has to do when star energies, people, humans, other forms of light request to move into a planet. There's quite a, we might call it a system, you see, of keeping the energy sacred and appropriate. So, beloved heart, Lemuria, we would not say is a star system in its own, yet it has housed the energy of many star systems and holds still, even as it is beneath the earth today, holds the energy of those stars and star systems, and those that were upon Lemuria then hold the energy of that, predominantly that which is their own, but also holding that energy of the cosmos within. As you will then allow yourself to acknowledge even further that energy of your being, Misra, of your Misranian being. That is how we would say it. Misranian energy. Then, beloved heart, you not only awaken to full blossoming of your energy, but then you are in full service in the emanation of. Is that not what you are truly asking, beloved heart?
Thank you, yes.
Okay.
Be that. Acknowledge it. Live from it. Honor it. I am that, beloved heart.
Diane, those were great questions. I love the question about asking if Lemuria was a star system. I'm sure other people had that question as well. Oh, how did that feel to you, Diane, that response?
I am rushing like crazy. Wow, that was so powerful. And thank you so much for the answer, because I know that I was part of Lemuria, or I feel I still am, because every time SanRa has come on and the priestesses, I've made every call and I don't even know who's on. I just call. And that's how I found out I was part of Lemuria. Oh, thank you.
That's so wonderful. We're all in this together. I feel, as you were speaking, Diane, I had chills all over, and there's a resonance that I feel with you, and I'm grateful you showed up today. And
as am I.
Yeah. Well, thank you again, and that was beautiful. So thank you, Diane, and all my love to you. And
you're welcome. Thank you.
Okay.
And blessings
to you
Blessings,
too.
beloved heart. Blessings, beloved heart.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks to Diane, and now I'm going to move on to our next caller, and the area code is 707. 707.
Hello?
Hi.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
You. It's you. Welcome.
Sorry. Beloved sisters, thank you so much for taking my call. My heart is racing. Thank you so much, SanRa, for being a part of this community. Thank you for all that you've shared and channeled today.
Oh, I have chills listening to you.
Carrie, I've been such a fan, and you've completely changed my life over the last few months. And I just want to thank you so much, sister, for giving us a voice. For sake of time, SanRa, I'm being deeply called to Hawaii, and I know that there is a lot going on there right now. And through meditation, I've been told to wait. I'm just wondering if there's maybe any guidance that you could give me, if there's anything from the beautiful Priestess Circle. Thank you.
Beloved heart, allow yourself to be in full harmony with your body. We are assisting you with that in this moment. As you are hearing the call home, beloved heart, to Hawaii, you are allowing then your body to be filled more and more and more with your spirit. You are allowing then yourself to come home to your own heart, feeling this energy as we assist you move through your body into the earth, beloved heart, into the earth, so that you are completely centered and grounded. This is, beloved one, essential before you are making your journey. Now, beloved heart, wherever it is that you are living, wherever it is that you are called, and this also is true of others who are being called, you are being called first home into your heart, where you hold the energy of your knowing and your wisdom, where you hold the energy of your divine spirit. Allow your body to be the vehicle for your journey. Allow your body to be the vehicle for your journey, beloved heart. So that when you do journey physically to Hawaii, it will be in perfect divine timing with all of you together in yourself, in your body. As you do that, as you be with yourself in that way, then the knowing of exactly where and when will come forth. Do not journey to your beloved home, Hawaii, until you feel completely filled with self. And we can assist you with that, beloved heart. Call upon us. Call upon us. And speak with us through our channel. Beloved heart, you must bring all of the aspects of your being together, and they must be grounded. We are with you each day. Call upon us each day until you are ready to speak to us in this way. We are with you. Our deep blessings to you, beloved heart.
Thank you so much.
Holly, you're making me cry. I feel such a resonance with you too. I know that it's no mistake that you were here today. And I hope the answer was helpful to you, Holly.
Yes,
and
of course. Thank you
I
so
would
much.
encourage you to call upon them. Ever since SanRa and I first connected, I have been calling upon the Priestess Circle of 13 every day. And I cannot tell you the support and the love that comes through. And so I would highly encourage you to do that. And of course to connect with SanRa privately if and when the time feels right for that as well.
I purchased Lori's package a few weeks ago, and I actually did the meditation with the Priestess Circle yesterday that Lori offered.
Wow.
So it's so interesting.
Wow.
And beautiful how things unfold. And thank you so much, SanRa. I look forward to eventually working with you as well.
I'm so glad
Thank
you're
you.
here, Holly. I just send you so much love.
I feel it, and I send so much to you, Carrie. Oh, my goodness. I am just your biggest fan. I think you are just incredible, and I honor you so deeply.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for all that you are.
Thank you, Mirror. Okay, sweetheart. Thank you. All my love to you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to take one.
Heart.
Okay, go ahead.
Beloved hearts, we will take another question, yes. And we wish that all of you, each and every one of you, to call upon us and to call upon yourself, to bring all of the aspects of your being, whether it is known to you or not. Surrender and receive from yourself all that you are. Surrender and receive from yourself all that you are, and call upon us, the sacred circle of 13 of Lemuria of the cosmos, to be with you. We are present, and we can be more present as you call upon us.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. And thank you for being open to taking another question. So I am going to area code 310. 310.
Oh my gosh, is that me?
It is. It is.
Thank you so much. I just broke into tears when you started chanting. It was like so wonderful to feel home again. I do the best I can to create it on the inside and radiate it out, but I just really need to touch home. And I'm traveling now and wondering where I'm being redirected to. I really am just open to receive. I have to have a shoulder surgery in Colorado Springs unexpectedly, and someone ran into me while I was teaching skiing at a high speed. So I detoured to that, but then I'm open. And I wonder what you might have to share with me. Thank you.
Beloved heart, you have been to Mount Shasta, have you not?
Yes.
We suggest, beloved heart, that you return. We suggest also that you allow yourself to move to the energies of the southern coast of Australia. You feel it. Your cells are awakening. Go to Mount Shasta first. Go to the southern coast of Australia as you can. And first call the energies to you and from within you, beloved heart. Allow the spiraling of energies to awaken within you so that you, beloved heart, will be then also complete within yourself before you are moving, are traveling, are journeying to what you are needing. There may be other places that you will find in between that you are drawn to, beloved heart. Honor that. Be with that. Awaken this from within. Again, return to Mount Shasta. And then in perfect divine timing, the southern coast of what you would now call Australia, but where you have been previously, beloved heart. There is no need to rush. Make certain that you are prepared, beloved heart. Call upon us and we will assist you, beloved heart.
Thank you so much. That's inspiring and exciting.
Had you felt any draw to go to Australia before now?
No, not at all. Okay. But I also was aware that there was nowhere here that I needed to be. I've lived in many, many, many places. Hawaii, you name it. So I'm not surprised. I knew that it was something else that called, but I didn't have any idea where. So that's pretty exciting. My cells are all shaking as we're speaking.
I love that. A little cell activating party we're having here. What is your name? I didn't get your name.
Denise.
Denise, okay.
Yes.
Well, Denise, I wish you the very best in your journey and your travels, and I'm so grateful that you were here with us today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Much love.
Much love to you, too. Okay. SanRa, someone asked in the Q&A an important question that we haven't touched on, and Melody asks, are there any daily practices to enhance our remembrance of our purpose and gifts to assist us to anchor and activate those gifts in our current life? Gratitude and blessings for your work, goddesses. Okay, any suggestions for Melody?
Beloved heart, all our beloved hearts, as you will take some silent time each day. Now, this may be meditation time, or, beloved heart, this may be contemplation time. We suggest that to awaken further your own Lemurian knowing, wisdom, and to allow that vibration to be more awakened in yourselves, and this will apply, yes, to Melody, but to all here, we ask that you then sing the Latena, or say it if you like. This energy, this simple tune will assist you with awakening, accepting, knowing, believing the wisdom, the truth of your Lemurian presence. Beloved hearts, hear that word, your Lemurian presence. This will allow the raise of vibrational frequency in your being. It will allow the activation of the Lemurian wisdom and knowing. It will allow the transformation of the energy field, the emanation of your being. It will allow also the alignment of the energies. There is so much, we might wish to say, energy flowing through, but there are many gaps in the energy between the chakras. There are many gaps in the energies in the different strands of the DNA. There are many gaps. And this simple Latena and taking time to be quiet without thinking, any questions you may have, you see, may be beneficial to each and every one of you. And yet, as our dear sister stated previously, you are living from, understanding from, comprehending from the higher levels of your being, your intuition, and beyond. Even in this moment, you are being uplifted by the presence of our heart, by the presence of our life force of energy, as you have asked and as you have given permission. Silent time each day to contemplate, to listen, to allow for the Latena to assist. If you feel you cannot sing or say, then listen to it. Beloved hearts, you are important, Melody. You are important, each one of you, whether we know your name or not. We see your energy signature. We hold, we embrace each one of your energy signatures. Allow yourself to be full, to be in harmony, to be in beauty, and to offer that which you know yourself to be. Be yourself. Be yourself. Emanate that which you are. Offer that which you are in the protection of the light and love that we offer and that you are growing into again.
Okay, thank you for that. I'm sure that response is helpful for all of us to activate the remembrance of our gifts here. And I can speak personally to the Latena practice is very, very helpful. So thank you for reminding us of those things. And I want to ask, we haven't asked this of you yet specifically, how did we live life on Lemuria?
Well, beloved heart, that is quite a comprehensive question. But let us say, first of all, we did not live from time. We lived from the cycles of the earth, the cycles of the moon, the cycles of the sun, the cycles of the galaxy, the cycles of the universe. Now, as we are saying this, time, beloved hearts, which you are moving out of, do you see? We understand many must go according to a schedule, do you see? For your children, for your working, for whatever you are doing. And we ask, beloved hearts, that you will acknowledge the day and the night, you see. This is a cycle of your sun. We ask that you acknowledge the moon, a cycle of your, what you call your month. We ask that you acknowledge the sun in the yearly cycle. There was just the, what you are calling the summer solstice. Acknowledge this as a cycle, not a date on your calendar of squares with numbers, but a cycle of life. In Lemuria, we would rise more or less when the sun awoke us, and then we would move through the day, doing things that each one needed, making certain there was food to eat, you see, making certain there was water, making certain that needs were met, that children's needs were met, that babies' needs were met, making certain that those that we connected with, meaning our family members, our extended family members, for truly in Lemuria all were extended family members. But yes, we understand that there is a community, making certain that the dwellings that we lived in, which were simple and yet elaborate, and the energetic wonder and beauty were keeping in energetic stability. There was some food grown, but mostly with the knowing that all would be provided, most of the food was discovered. Most of the food, beloved hearts, was offered from the bounty of the earth. There was much energy placed in enjoyment, in creativity. There is much now upon the earth. I must go to work. I must be productive. I must churn out my paperwork. I must churn out whatever is needed. Beloved heart, now that is true for you. And yet, it is a bit artificial. In Lemuria, there was no churning out of anything, beloved heart. We went according to the flow as we stepped upon the earth, often in our bare feet, if not in shoes or sandals that were off the earth. We would feel the energy of the earth move into us, and we would offer that back. We would come together in spontaneous sharing of energy with other people, with the earth, with the animals, with the plants. We would come together, or with ourselves, in creative endeavors. Enjoyment, beloved hearts. There was some organization to the day. When the sun was high, we would honor the sun. We would receive the sun. When the moon was high, we would honor the moon. We would receive the moon. When the rain was falling, we would honor the rain. We would receive the rain in the form of water, and we would also know and feel the rain moving into the earth, into the streams. There was much movement, walking. There was movement of dance, you see. There was movement together. There was sharing of energy. There was exchange of energies. There was not money, beloved heart. There was sharing, exchanging. All needs of all people on earth were met. And this was in the flow of harmony, in the flow of love, in the flow of caring. All needs were met. Now, every person may have different needs, you see? Every person may have a different dwelling from a different, that was different than another's dwelling. There was not one better than another, but all needs were met without effort, but with simply a flow of life. There was much family life. There was much life in many, many different temples. There were many ceremonies to keep Earth in balance. Some of these were spontaneous. Some of these were planned. There were, yes, what you might call timekeepers. Those would honor the cycles and keep track, perhaps in some way. There were many that honored the cosmic energies, that honored the Earth energies. All specific gifts that were offered, beloved heart, were offered and accepted. There was no, you must go to university and train for this because it will bring you more money. There was joy in what each one was doing. There were, yes, births and deaths, and we call these transitions into and transitions out of, and into and out of. It is a cycle. And there were those that offered their services for these transitions. There was joy and love and life. There was, yes, what you would call responsibility, and yes, there was that. But there was no drudgery in this responsibility, beloved hearts. There was ease of transition in and out, and there was balance always kept. There was knowing of the cosmos and knowing of the earth, knowing of the cycle, sharing of the love, and there was joy. There was energy that we are hearing this question, what about conflict between people? Beloved heart, there was so much balance kept that if there was the beginning of a conflict, you see there would be a slight disruption of the energy, which would be noticed and taken care of. There were what we might say protocols in place to assist. But generally speaking, conflict was addressed and acknowledged and loved and honored before it became truly a conflict. In the beginning and in also the height of the civilization, there was, yes, at the end times, those things of conflict began to take over because separation had happened. And in this moment, there is not appropriateness to go into this, but another time this will be presented. For as you can learn from that, now then you can bring yourself back out of conflict and remind yourself, I will feel the subtle energy of conflict as soon as it happens, and then I can move myself back into my heart, back into my light, back into my empowerment of being whole and in unity. Does this assist you, beloved heart?
Yes. Thank you for that. And I know that I could probably ask a million questions in addition to that one, but I think that we've covered enough to remind us and to activate our memories, and so that we can bring forth those frequencies here and now. And we have a lot of questions in the webcast relating to this, but I feel as though I want to have time to talk about the audience's opportunity to learn more from you through the classes that SanRa is providing to this community. So I would love to go in and talk about that for those who are feeling called to experience more of this. So SanRa, can we talk about the Lemurian Priestess sessions that you are, the group sessions that you are offering, the private sessions? For the sake of our schedule here and now for the show today, I'd love to get into that.
All right. Thank you, Carrie. I am back.
Welcome back,
thank you, everybody. I can hear all those questions, and they were wonderful, and it was very emotional for me as well. So I am grateful for everyone participating in whatever way they did.
It was emotional, wasn't it? It was. I could feel it from everybody, and it's interesting how we could go so many different directions with so many of these questions. But I feel we provided a lot, and I know that there's so much more that people can experience in these group sessions and private sessions with you. So let's begin with, for those who want to follow along, it's at straighttalkforthesoul.com/marketplace, and you can click on SanRa's beautiful picture, and she's provided 3 offers for our community, very generous offers, I might add. The first one is, and I'll let you describe it, SanRa, is the Lemurian Priestess 6-week group session. This is a series that has already taken place, but it is a prerequisite for you to listen to this prior to doing the next group session. So I'll let you describe what this is, SanRa.
Okay, thank you. So the first session, which is the same as the prerequisite, that took place in March, and these are so amazing. I mean, this is when it was my first. I didn't know what's going to happen, but remember I said that they told me on January 1st that I would be organizing or bringing through this energy so that we could actually do the ceremonies that we did in Lemuria. Well, I didn't know this was going to be the housing for that, but that's what it turned out to be. You never know what's going to happen. So every time wasn't a session like that where we